Hi everyone, I'm Terry Hollands. This is Backstage Live presented by the Beard Struggle. I'm going to be giving you an update on what's happened since yesterday's show, and right at the end we're going to be giving you a huge announcement regarding World's Strongest Man. So let's talk about the pressure on the guys going into the final event, the Atlas Stones, things like that. So day two, obviously the guys battling for those top spots are really under a lot of pressure. They're going to want to deliver good performances, but obviously that comes with, the possibility of making mistakes. Sometimes experience really counts for a lot in those situations. We've got, 4 former champions in the final this year, which obviously, they've dealt with that sort of pressure in the past. But, they're all coming out to deliver good performances. Some of the new guys, guys like Mitchell Hooper, things like that, he's not been in this position before. He's only done a few competitions, an amazing athlete, but obviously he needs that experience to really sort of deliver good performances. But let's have a recap on what happened yesterday in the Flintstone barbell lift. So we had Oleksii Novikov winning the event with 542 pounds, 246 kilos. Unbelievable. The former world record before that was 211 kilos. So, a huge increase on the world record. In fact, we actually had 7 guys breaking the former world record. So incredible performances all around. Tom Stoltman, tall guy, perhaps not always, tall guys are renowned for their pressing abilities, but he came out and delivered, took a 2nd place there. Martin's in 3rd place. And then we had tied for 4th was Maxime, Trey, Brian Shaw and Luke Stoltman. All of those guys beat the previous world record, which is absolutely incredible. We caught up with the winner, Oleksii Novikov, after the Flintstone lift. Winner of the Flintstone barbell, also won the deadlift as well, so that's 2 event wins in a row. You must be feeling good going into day 2.
My goals for this day was win each event. In yoke and box I feel really good too, but I did some mistakes, that's why I just third. And in the deadlift in this event I win like I wanted this. Tomorrow will be for me a little bit harder events, but I hope I still a leader in this competition.
You got a new world record on the Flintstone barbell. You always seem to find more, like a little bit more, like an extra gear when you're in competition. It's fantastic to watch you compete as always. You've done so well on day 1. Hopefully it continues on day 2 and maybe get that title back.
If organizer makes this event for next competition or near competition, I think I can beat my world record, like deadlift 18's deadlift.
Yeah.
Same.
Fantastic performance today.
And
well done.
And dumbbell too.
Yeah. Too many world records. You have so many. Good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations on day 1.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So at the halfway point, 3 events through the final, let's take a look at the standings. We've got Oleksii Novikov in 1st place on 28 points. Tom Stoltman just behind him with 26.5. It's only 1.5 points. It's so close. It's all to play for still. Martin's on 20 points. Mitchell on 19. Trey on 18. Brian on 16.5. Luke on 15.5. Maxime 11.5. Gabrielle 6 and I4 on 4 points. I mean, obviously we're only halfway through, so everything could change, but it's looking like Oleksii and Tom are going to be battling for the title, with everyone else down from 3rd through to 7th battling for that 3rd spot. These guys are really putting on a show this year, and it's fantastic to see. So, first up on day 2, we've got the bus pull. We managed to catch up with Magnus earlier to have a discussion about the bus pull. So I'm here with 4-time World's Strongest Man and head referee at World's Strongest Man this year, Magnus for Magnusson. First up, we've got the bus pull. How do you see this going? Do you see it being a tough event for the guys?
Well, it's a 30-meter pull. It's a long pull, but we've tested it out. It runs pretty smoothly, but it's going to be a real test, and the athletes really in this. The trick is to push your hips forward when you pull, not by just be bending over, just like keep it going and use your legs.
Yeah, do you think the extra distance will make it tougher? Because it's not the heaviest vehicle we've ever pulled, but it is a longer distance than we normally do.
Oh, it's going to come down to a bit of a cardio as well. Lactic acid build up.
Yeah, I mean, so do you see it being an advantage to someone like Brian, obviously with a bigger body weight, or do you see it being more of an advantage to the more athletic guys like Oleksii and Martins?
Well, possibly, but having the being bigger and having the body weight with you, you should be able to generate more speed.
Yeah, definitely. I always think that the bigger guys always get that start off the line better. You know, they might fade a little bit towards the end, but they've still got that big body weight to lean on the truck.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, I think it's going to pan out as it normally does. I don't think it really makes a lot of difference for the guys. The extra distance, obviously, you know, they should be in condition at this point, shouldn't they?
Oh, if they're not, they shouldn't be here.
Exactly that, exactly. So the bus pull is typically normally a big man's event. Obviously that extra body weight to help get the truck moving in the first place is a big advantage. But let's have a look at the results. It didn't actually turn out that way. We had Oleksii Novikov winning the event. I mean, his technique was absolutely flawless, and it was sort of, you know, just absolutely a perfect run the whole way through. He really fought for it. He was collapsed after the event, laying on the floor. It took a long while for him to recover, but he showed how much he knew that he really needed those points on that event, because he was expecting the big guys to really sort of put in some good times. We had Martins in second place. Again, you know, he's not the most massive guy, but fantastic performance. Again, his technique was flawless. You know, he really put in a big effort there. Tom Stoltman down in third. You know, perhaps some people would have expected him to be first or second on that event, but Tom is showing that consistency, you know, is a big part of his repertoire. You know, he's been consistent across all the events so far and did amazingly well as well. Brian Shaw down in fourth place. I know he'll be disappointed with that. Obviously, truck pull for him has been a good event in all the years he's been competing. He is the heaviest guy in the final as well, but, you know, Brian's been one of the greatest of all time. Perhaps he's starting to fade a little bit. We don't know. You know, he's still in with a shot of getting on the podium, but, you know, I know he's not going to be happy with that performance, but I'm sure he's got more to come on the events afterwards. Trey Mitchell in fifth place, Luke Stoltman in sixth, Maxime in seventh, Mitchell Hooper down in eighth. Felt a little bit sorry for Mitchell. He's actually never pulled a truck before, or a bus. So, you know, for Mitchell, it was all just learning on the job. Actually, I think once he gets his technique nailed, he's going to be really good at that event moving forwards. I4 down in ninth and Gabrielle in 10th. Managed to catch up with the 2017 World's Strongest Man champion, Eddie Hall, to talk about the bus pull. Okay, so I'm here with the 2017 World's Strongest Man, Eddie Hall. Eddie, what's your reaction to that? Did you expect Oleksii to win that event?
Be honest, did you?
No, I didn't know.
Neither did I. That was absolutely incredible. You got to think he is the lightest guy in the contest.
Yep.
Tom's got 50, 60 kilo on him, and Brian. Yeah, just coming into this. I mean, an 18.5 ton truck, 41,000 pounds, uphill, deflated tyres. I just thought that was a big man's game all day.
Me too. I mean, especially because I looked at the bus and I thought it's a little bit small, but then when they started pulling it was quite a hard start, and generally that favours the bigger guys. But I mean, Oleksii just finds this extra gear from somewhere. He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable.
I was watching him pull, and he just reminds me of Mariusz Podnoski.
Yeah.
Just that determination. Every single pull is as good as the first one. His trajectory is perfect. His hips were low. He never looked up once. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
He's just staring at that ground. Nothing else matters. He gave 100%, like he did on the deadlift. You know, he gave absolutely everything. You know, his nose is pouring with blood. You can tell he's about to pass out, but he keeps going.
Yeah, I mean, I think he realises, like, that type of event, you know, most people would expect Tom to win it. I think he knows he needs a bit of a lead going into the power stairs and the stone, so he really had to leave it out there, and he definitely delivered. There's no doubt about that.
No, he did. I mean, you got to think the event's coming up as well, and that's probably why he's giving everything that he's got into these events. I mean, what's the lead now? Is it 3.5 points?
Something like
that, behind, trailing is Tom. So, you know, he's got to be coming top 4 on this minimum, and then as we go into the Atlas Stones, pretty much even with Tom, I think. And then it's down to the stone offs, which, you know, that doesn't happen very often when it comes down to the stones. You usually know who's won beforehand.
Yeah.
So this is an exciting final.
The only thing I think with the stones, you almost always need at least a point gap with Tom, because you know that obviously the stones is the decider. If he's 1 point behind you, then chances are he's going to beat you on the stones, and then you're going to lose on the count back on the stones anyway. So I think, if Oleksii can stay sort of 2 points ahead, it's going to be a big advantage.
Yeah, I think that half a point That half a point may do Oleksii that favour, because it's always those tiny little margins. And I didn't think this. Yesterday, looking at where the points and what events were coming up, I just wrote Oleksii off, to be honest, and I shouldn't have. I really shouldn't have. But yeah, going to this final now, it's got to be one of the most exciting stone-offs we're going to see, I think.
Definitely. I mean, I thought it was Tom's day as well, but Oleksii proved us both wrong there.
Yeah, no, good for him.
So the fifth event is the Rain Power Stairs. We really knew that this event was going to be make or break for some of the guys. Some of the guys could really fall here. Some of the guys could really make a big push to move up the leaderboard. So we caught up with Magnus earlier to discuss the Rain Power Stairs. Okay, so I'm back with Magnus. We've got the Rain Power Stairs as a second event out. It's a little bit different this year, where you've actually got to run the objects in as well. Do you see that adding a difficulty to the event?
Well, we added a twist to it, which is basically a duck walk with the power stairs implement and then loaded on top of the platforms. And I think it's going to be a hard event.
Yeah, because normally the power stairs would be 5 steps normally. This is only 3, but they have got to run them in. So, it does change the event. I quite like the idea of it. I think it just adds a different spin on a sort of traditional event.
Well, this is a hard event. It possibly favors the taller guys, but I've seen some of these others try it out and they look good.
Well, you got guys like Oleksii, who's not the tallest guy, but he's so explosive.
He's unbelievable.
He'll obviously move very quickly with the objects as well. So perhaps we'll be a little bit faster across the ground for the first bit of it. So I think this setup almost evens it out a little bit. It takes the height advantage away a little bit.
It does. And it adds speed into it. You gotta be fast.
Yeah.
Pretty much, you gotta run fast with the implements and you gotta load them fast.
It should be an exciting event. I'm really looking forward to it. So the Rain Power Stairs really didn't disappoint when it came to, an exciting event, an exciting finish. Let's take a look at the results. Maxime Boudreau winning the event, fantastic time there. No one really sort of talked about him going into that event. I think everyone was talking about the taller guys doing well. Maxime put in a fantastic performance, was so fast, so explosive, did amazingly well, and he's making a big push to move up that leaderboard. Was 3rd place last year. I'm sure he's going to want to get as close to that as possible again this year. Tom Stoltman coming 2nd. Martins narrowly missing out in 3rd place behind Tom. Both of those guys performed really well. Brian Shaw in 4th place. Again, he's trying to move up the leaderboard. He's doing his best. He's still fighting, which is fantastic to see. Mitchell in 5th. Great performance from Mitchell again. I don't think he's done power stairs before either. So, fantastic performance on his first go. Luke Stoltman in 6th. The big story here, Oleksii Novikov down in 7th place. That's really cost him some big points behind Tom, and I know that, he'll feel the pressure going into the stones with Tom having a lead. We all know that Tom's probably the best stone lifter in the world, if not the best ever. He's that good. So Oleksii has really got to deliver a huge performance on the Atlas stones to try and catch Tom and hope that Tom makes a mistake. But in 8th place, we had I4 Ingolfsson Melstead, 9th place, Trey Mitchell, and 10th place, Gabriel Rahum. I mean, all of these guys delivered great performances. They all did fantastically well. It was such a tough event, especially with a different setup with the running as well. You could see how much it was taxing the guys, but fantastic performances all round. We caught up with Tom Stoltman, who placed 2nd on that event. Okay, so I'm here with 2nd place on the Rain Power Stairs. Leading overall, last year's winner, Tom Stoltman. Fantastic performance there, Tom.
Thank you very much. Just like I said, it's my first ever time doing them. I've been consistent throughout this competition. Let Novikov slip up there, so I'm buzzing. One event to go. So.
Yeah, and we all know how good you are at the stone. So do you feel like you've got, one hand on the title at this point?
Yeah, one hand on the title, but like I said, 100% concentration for this, and we can celebrate after, hopefully. So.
I mean, you've performed really well on every event so far. No real major slip-ups or anything. You've been consistently good, and that's the key to winning the title. I think yesterday, the Flintstone lift, perhaps normally the taller guys are not suited to that, but you were amazingly good on that as well. You've been so good all the way through the competition.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not really good I'm not known for pressing, and even the truck pull as well, and top 3 in every event so far is, my rewards are kind of paying off now. So hopefully, fingers crossed, like I said, let's finish on a high. So.
Well, best of luck, Tom. You're doing fantastically well, and obviously we all know that you're the king of the stone. So you just got to go out and deliver like you normally do.
Thank you very much, Terry.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
So still to come, we've got the Atlas Stones. Really is the signature strongman event. Most competitions are, completed by the Atlas Stones. It's, it's the real traditional event within strongman competitions, and it's been the final event of World's Strongest Man for, most of the years that I competed, and prior to that as well. So let's take a look at the placings after 5 events. We've got Tom Stoltman in the lead on 43.5 points. Oleksii Novikov on 42 points. Those 1.5 points, it's not impossible for Oleksii to catch it up if Tom makes a mistake, but it's going to be tough. Martins moved a little bit closer to Oleksii on that, so Oleksii's still got Martins on his heels. There's no reason why Martins couldn't put in a great performance and end up taking second place. So great battle, looking like it's shaping up there. Brian Shaw in 4th. He's a little way behind. It's going to be difficult for him to get on the podium, but I'm sure he's going to fight till the last minute. Brian's a fantastic stone lifter, so I know he's going to want to try his best to get on that podium still. Mitchell Hooper in 5th. Amazing debut. He's done fantastically well the whole way through. Can't fault the guy with the lack of experience he's got and how little strongman he's actually done. To come in and deliver a performance like that against the best guys in the world is incredible. Trey Mitchell in 6th. Maxime and Luke Stoltman tied for 7th place. They're still in with a shot of moving up to top 5. It's still all to play for there. I always used to think sort of when you're competing in a final of World's Strongest Man, there's sort of like scales to it. Obviously you want to win and then it's get on the podium, then it's top 5. Those guys have all still got a shot of making top 5, and it just sounds so much better than saying, if you're in 7th or 8th place, you're basically just top 10 in the world. Top 5 in the world just sounds so much better. So I know a lot of the guys are still going to be battling for that if they're in contention. So we obviously, without the support of the Beard Struggle, we wouldn't have been able to do this live for you. So let's hear a word from the Beard Struggle.
This is Eddie the Beast Hall. We asked him what he'd really like for Father's Day.
What I really want for Father's Day, the most important thing to have around me is family. Being a father, a friend, these are the best gifts a man can get. There's one thing I'd really like for Father's Day.
Thanks, buddy. Have a nice day, man.
The Father's Day gift set.
Now this is the perfect Father's Day gift. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Order online now from thebeardstruggle.com.
So if you want to get 20% off with the Beard Struggle, like I said yesterday, they don't just do beard products, they do skin products as well. Scan the QR code at the top of the screen and you can get 20% off. So as you can see behind me, they're setting up the Atlas Stones as we speak. They're all pretty much ready to go. All the athletes will be warming up backstage. Some big performances needed from a few of the guys here to really try and push up their placing. So I expect some fireworks on this last event, and it's going to be fantastic. But as we said, huge announcement. I'm really honoured to have been given this sort of opportunity to announce next year's World's Strongest Man. So the 2023 World's Strongest Man will be in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So we're excited to see everyone, coming out to South Carolina. We're excited to be there. It's going to be a fantastic show. Myrtle Beach, from what I've heard, is a really lovely place as well. So, yeah, we're excited to be there. And, like I said, I am absolutely honoured to have been the first person to announce this. So, yeah, what an honour it is. Oh, sorry about that. So as from today, it's been a fantastic show. Obviously, leading up to this point, we've got the best guys in the world really doing battle. We've still got the Atlas Stones to go. We'll be back later to get an exclusive interview with the winner of the title. So I'll say goodbye at this point. I'm Terry Hollands. This has been Backstage Live, presented by the Beard Struggle.